Right, hello there, everybody. Daniel Johnson, the entrepreneur in residence for the SmartHub here in Rockhampton, Queensland. Today, I'm joined by Ben Kennedy of Gecko. So welcome, Ben. Welcome back to Rockhampton.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it. It's great to be up here in Rocky.
Now that accent is not from Queensland.
No.
So where in the world is that accent from?
So I was born and raised in Sydney. So I know the famous Bondi Beach. I'm about 1 or 2 kilometres away from there. So
Does that mean you're a surfer?
I can surf, but no, I'm not too good when it comes to surfing.
Not too good. Okay, fair enough. So what brings you to Rockhampton?
Well, obviously the incredible Turbo Traction Lab program that I'm in at the moment. They've really heightened our growth, and it's been a really amazing journey with people like yourself and Tamara and some really incredible mentors that have really helped our growth.
Okay, so while you're in Sydney, you're a couple Ks away from the beach, hanging out there.
Yeah.
But what does the rest of your week really look like? Are you just hanging out at home, or are you doing something else?
No, so we're in a incubator in Sydney called UTS Startups, which is the university that I attend. So we're working out of there about 5 days of the week, and then work from home Saturday, Sunday. So it's all good.
Good. So you attend University of Technology Sydney. What are you studying there besides startups and how to launch a business?
So the actual course itself is called Digital Creative Enterprise Management. That's a pretty fancy way of saying entrepreneurship and business. So we're mainly in the business faculty, and we're also in the innovation faculty. Which is
okay. So is this just something that anybody can go in and say, hey, I want to be part of UTS Startups, come look at me, or is it a little competitive nature?
No, it's not too competitive.
Wrong answer, by the way, if you want to showcase competitive nature. Don't be like, oh no, anybody can get it. I'll coach you.
Well, the requirements for joining UTS Startups, you have to be a UTS alumni of at least a year, or you have to be a current student that's enrolled at the university.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you're in University of Technology Sydney, you're taking these courses, you hang out in a co-working space for UTS students and alumni. Are you just playing on Facebook all day doing Minecraft or Fortnite, or what are you trying to bring to the market? And by the way, anybody, if you have any questions for Ben, be sure to leave us a quick little comment. Ben's usually a pretty affable and talkable guy. He's got great jokes.
I do.
His jokes easily silence a room out there, and all the good reasons. So, all right. So you're at University of Technology Sydney. You're there 4 or 5 days a week. You're not twiddling your thumbs. You're not playing on Facebook. What are you doing with Gecko?
So pretty much what Gecko is we help everyday Aussies, make extra cash off items that are gathering dust in their home.
Okay, so is that like my dustpan that I'm going to? I mean, because it literally collects dust.
No.
So I can put my dustpan and broom on your platform, right?
No, so it's more. Well, I mean, you might be able to, but we more specialize in items that other people would like to borrow. So those can include your suit that's just sort of lying around in your closet, or whether it's your speakers. You might have a whole lot of lights, tools. Even you're able to sort of rent those items out and start making some extra cash off them.
Oh, nice. Now, so Gecko, if people want to go to the website while they're watching this or in the future, they should. How do they get to it? What's the website address?
So our domain name is www.geckoonline.com.au. And it's a really good way to start making money off the items that are just sort of gathering dust in your home, whether it's anything.
Okay, so it could be electronics, it could be that tent that you use once a year.
Absolutely, yeah.
Anything like that. So what's the most popular item on the platform?
I'd say the most popular item on the platform, there's a few. So I'd say dresses do very well.
Nurse costumes, I hear.
Yes. Nurse costumes also do quite well. Me and my friend, we have a couple sexy nurse outfits that we got from a few good nights out in the Gold Coast. So yes, we also have those. As you said, costumes actually have been doing really well as well. We also think that speakers probably get the most amount of, that it's the best way to make money off it. Laptops, iPhones, bits of furniture, and yeah, definitely tents do quite well.
Cool. All right, so walk us through how you came up with Gecko. So is this just something that you said, hey, I want to do it, or did you notice a problem? Like, how did it start?
So pretty much, both my parents are quite successful entrepreneurs, so I've always sort of wanted to become an entrepreneur ever since I was about 16 years old. I think that's when I sort of...
So last year?
No, it would have been four or 5 years ago now. Okay. And I guess I sort of made that decision, and I had a few ideas that I had going around in my head, but none that really made a positive difference to the world. So I was sort of a little bit stuck, but I was still doing my university degree, and I had a job as an accountant. So pretty much what happened was I was in New Zealand with my cousin Linan, and she said, "Oh Ben, I asked Linan, where are you sleeping tonight?" And Linan says, "Oh, I borrowed a air mattress from someone down the road." And I thought, "Oh, okay." And I asked, "What would you have done if you didn't know that he had an air mattress?" And she went, I guess I would have bought one. And it just got me thinking, like, that is such a waste of materials, and it's such a waste of money. So pretty much it really got me thinking, and how I work, as I got into a little bit of a spiral over it. And I thought about how I went to Falls Festival in December and January of that same year. And I realized, we needed tents, we needed a marquee, we needed pull-out chairs, we needed tables. There was a ton of stuff that we ended up buying, I guess we could have just borrowed, and it would have saved us a whole bunch of money, and it would have been great for the environment as well.
Cool. So idea was sparked by your aunt, right?
Yeah.
Your aunt's borrowing an air mattress from somebody on the road. Then you had another experience of wanting to go to a festival, and you're just buying all this stuff for one use on the weekend.
That's it.
And then is the material, or those items are probably still at your house, I would say?
That's it.
Do they happen to be listed on Gecko?
They do happen to be listed.
Oh, well, nice. And now people can go to geckoonline.com.au, and they can browse clothing, electronics, household goods, and camping and outdoor items. And so they can find anything from a GoPro, they can find something to a tent, to camping chairs, and like even a nurse costume for Halloween if there's something like that. Great. All right, so you do all this. Now, what's in it? So do all this, so you have the idea. What was your next step? Did you just start coding it yourself, or what happened?
No. So at the time, I had been studying business, and I'm doing a course in entrepreneurship. So I was a little bit stuck, actually. I wasn't really sure what the next sort of steps were. So I reached out to a few people, one being one of my lecturers, actually. And she said, look, one of the most important things that you need to do is validate it. And I thought, okay, that's really interesting. I wasn't too sure what that really entailed, because validation's a bit of a buzzword, right? So what I did is I pretty much created a survey, and I asked, about 50 of my mates, and then just went on to all these sort of groups and forums and posted it in there, and just annoyed the living daylights out of a few people, just to get a few people to fill out my survey. So I needed to test out whether there was something in the market for this. So what I found was that at the beginning I said, would you rather rent something as opposed to borrow it? As opposed to buy it. And what we found is the results were about 65%. It's sort of there. And I thought, okay, that might be a bit of that's not too great. But then one of the following questions were, would you be more likely if there was a ton of security, and you knew that you would either be remunerated fairly for it, and there would be security process to protect your items. And after that question, we actually had 95% of people that said, if that's the case, then absolutely I wouldn't mind renting out my items. So from there, I realized, oh, okay, those actually aren't too bad numbers. And by that point, I think we got up to about 120 people that responded to it. And yeah, from there, we just, slowly tried to create something, and here we are.
There you go. All right, so idea, validate, and then it's time to start seeing if you can manually or figure out a way if you can transact with people. So did you start building the platform, and did you? What was the first item that was ever lent by Gecko?
The first item that was lent by Gecko, I think, it was speakers actually, because I actually made the sale before the actual website was up and running.
Love it, I love that.
So it was quite funny at my old work at the accounting firm. They all used to give me quite a bit of stiff for not being able to make a sale, even though they'd been working on it for so long. So I thought, you know what, screw it, I'm going to go and make a sale. So
some peer pressure, I love that.
Yeah, pretty much, but it was the best kind. So I went out. There was one. Luckily, my mate, he said, "Oh, I actually really need speakers for my 21st birthday tomorrow night." And he messaged me at 3 p.m. on the Friday, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Pretty much messaged every single supplier in Sydney and said like, "Hey, I've got a sale for you. Would you be keen?" And then finally, these guys at Buzz Speaker Hire, they picked up the phone, and I pretty much gave them the whole pitch about what we have and what we're able to give them, and they were like, and then the first guy goes, "Oh, actually, I can't really make these decisions, but it sounds really good." I went, "Okay, great." So then he put me on to one of the managers there. And yeah, we went from there, and that's how we made our first sale. I picked it up.
Did you make money on the first sale?
I did make money on the first
nice.
sale. Yeah,
so many people don't.
So yeah, that was quite lucky.
Cool. Well, congratulations. Revenue from item 1, match number 1. You can't ask for much more than that. All right, so you do this, and since then you've clearly created a platform. People can go on to geckoonline.com.au and click there. Your Facebook page and Instagram is Gecko Oz.
Yeah, so GECKOAUS.
Okay, so like him, tag him, interact with his team there. So you get the little finger guns, which is always great. All right, so you do this, you're at UTS, you're getting the occasional help for everything, and then you find out about this random place called Rockhampton.
Yeah.
And they're running this interesting little 16-week program, 80 business days, saying, hey, we're going to help your business grow, scale, and some other things. And what was how'd you find out about it, just out of curiosity?
Actually, one of my friends at the Startup Hub, she made this huge worksheet of all these different, accelerators and incubators. And she said, she came in one day and she was like, "Oh, there's this really cool thing in Rockhampton." And I was like, "I know where that is because I watch the Weather Channel."
There's more here than the Weather Channel, that's all. We're more than a dot on the map.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. And so I thought, okay, this is really intriguing. I did a little bit of research, and I was in the middle of actually filling my form out, and I got this call from some weird American bloke who was saying, "Oh, you're halfway through your form. Would you like to, fill it out?" And that was you.
Oh. There's not that many other crazy Americans in Rockhampton. The Weather Channel also doesn't list that.
That's it. And I thought, oh, okay. Submitted the form. Had a chat to you, and I think it was Elise. Mm-hmm. And and then here we are. I guess the rest is sort of history. I came up, I think it was 6 or 7 weeks ago, which was it was really interesting from the get-go. I think
from the get-go or from the get-go?
I think the get-go.
Your jokes.
Yeah, too good. So that's how I found out about it. And
so if there were somebody out there that you were saying they were debating about, hey, maybe your mates are watching you from down in Sydney, or these random people that you met on the Gold Coast whenever you were doing your schooly days and what was it?
Uni games.
Uni games. We don't do that in the States. What would you tell them if they were thinking about, oh, should I give up 16 weeks of some intensive pressure and know some different things?
In terms of my sort of, I guess, business career, so I guess ideation was in January 2018. This is probably the best decision I've ever made.
Oh, can you say that again? I didn't hear you.
It's definitely the best decision I've ever made. I think something that you don't really get anywhere is like at UTS, obviously the mentors are incredible. Some of the people you get probably, the most in Australia, they're probably one of the most
Alan Jones,
clever.
I think, is one of them.
Alan Jones is one of them. We used to have Peter Davison as well, who I was quite close with. But one thing that I think Rockhampton and the Turbo Traction Lab does is the fact that they're like, hey Ben, how are you going with this? And they're just as excited about what you're doing as I am, which I think is amazing, because to have someone on the same level as me is super hard to find. So the fact that you have people on an even higher level and everyone's sort of trying to work together. So I think for that part of it, it's really incredible.
Okay, cool. All right, so we've talked about what Gecko is doing. We've talked about sort of how you created it. You had your first sale, which so many people think that they have to have the platform complete. It has to be 110% of functionality and all these gotchas and stuff. But you're able to transact and make sure that both parties could come together, and you make a little bit of dollars on it yourself. Which is great. So many people don't do that, and whenever I'm working with them, I try to be like, come on, just take somebody's money. Yeah. By the way, that's this week's focus. We're like, why can't you get money? Which is a pretty fun exercise this week. So, all right, so we've been able to help you think about your strategy, and now we're thinking about ways to sort of scale and automate your business. What's one of your big takeaways so far that the Turbo Traction Lab, and with Tamara and Phil and Chris and Natalie, like what's something that they've helped do or change or do with the trajectory of the business? I
think building the foundations. So obviously when you are in university, I think I was even ahead of most people when it came to the actual strategy of the business. So business model canvases, all that sort of thing. I'd done them all before, but obviously you're learning from lecturers and tutorials, not people that have actually done it before.
No,
exactly.
Really? Universities employ people in their entrepreneurship programs that have never been an entrepreneur. Okay. And they're trying to teach people being entrepreneurs to be entrepreneurs from people that aren't entrepreneurs.
Well, there are a few that are, I guess, entrepreneurs, but I guess they don't really have the background in terms of maybe they're just not as clever. I'm not too sure.
Maybe it's just the accent whenever we talk there. You're like, wait, I've not heard that before.
I'm not too sure what it was, but I remember we sort of had a chat, and I showed you my business model canvas, and you said, oh yeah, there's a couple bits that are all right there. But I'd say about 80% of it was needed a ton of improvement. So I think actually building the foundations of your business has really it has set us apart. And even when I went back to Sydney, I see heaps of businesses that aren't really validating it properly, and it's great to actually go and tell them about all the things that I've learned from yourself, Tamara, Chris. And even Natalie, it's been amazing to actually pass on that knowledge, because it not many people sort of have this opportunity.
Cool. All right, so what's next for Gecko?
What's next for Gecko? Well, look, we're looking to go global. Yep. That's the main reason why we're in this program. So we're looking to, I guess, try and conquer bits and pieces of Australia before reaching out to places like New Zealand, then possibly going over to Europe, so places like Germany, Sweden, and I guess seeing how we go that way.
How you go that way? Oh, my jokes. They're about as bad as yours.
Yeah.
But not really. Okay. So Gecko, so if you were to wave a magic wand, where would Gecko go next?
Where would Gecko go next? It's a great question. I would say probably New Zealand. And the reason that I say that is because I know that there is nothing over there. And I know that the market size...
there's 4 million people there. That's rude to say.
I don't mean it like that.
What do you mean there's nothing there?
Like that.
New Zealand, we apologize for the comment. that was just said, it's a beautiful place. My gosh.
I don't mean
Have you been
like
to
that.
Queenstown? Queenstown is amazing.
Yeah, no, my mum's actually from Wanganui, so I've
Okay.
I've been to New Zealand, I reckon, about 20 or so times. I do love the place, but in terms of their sharing economy, I think they have a platform called Trade Me, which is pretty much like a Craigslist. So it's not amazing. The user experience, the user interface isn't that great. And I think that it's really some place that we can really take advantage of and really take hold of as soon as possible. So we're looking to, try and look at all the different ways of how we can sort of reach that goal, and then just slowly conquer, because obviously we've seen, I know me personally, I've seen a whole ton of businesses that try and go too big too quickly, so you want to gradually get there. And if I could magically wave a little piece of wand for where we want to go to next, that is where I'd like to go.
Okay, so then it's New Zealand, and then if we can head off to the U.S., where do you want to visit in the U.S.?
Oh, it's a great question. There's so many great places in the US.
Have you been yet?
Yeah, I have. I've been to Hawaii, California, Vegas. I saw the Grand Canyon. I went to New York as well on a different trip. And so where would I go in the US? I think possibly, maybe Austin, Texas.
Austin's
Possibly
great.
San Francisco, all those sorts of areas. You've got, they're also, incredible startup hubs.
Kentucky? You don't want to go to Kentucky?
I wouldn't mind trying out the fried chicken.
Oh my gosh! Tip word to the wise: the locals don't eat it.
Okay.
But we appreciate almost every night whenever I ride my bike home and I ride past KFC, there's just a line of cars out, and I'm very appreciative because I've got a lot of friends that work for Yum, which is the parent company of KFC.
Okay.
So I know some of the people that have created some of the items on the menu are different here than they are in the US, which is pretty
Have they
cool.
got popcorn chicken over there?
Yeah, of course we have.
Oh,
popcorn
okay, that's
chicken.
good. That's the main
Of course
thing.
we have that. So, no, I appreciate everybody taking their time out of their day to go to KFC and support one of the big corporations back in my hometown. So, all right, so go to the U.S. And isn't there something about the Turbo Traction Lab that may afford people the opportunity, if they're participants, to go to the U.S.? Isn't there something?
Yeah. So in May, I know we've had a little bit of a chat about it. We're able to, be taken over to the US and be given a whole bunch of knowledge and introductions to people that would hopefully help grow and scale our business.
Okay. And so just to clarify on that, one of the benefits of the Turbo Traction Lab, if you have an opportunity to participate with us, and it's highly competitive, and we're now sourcing for the next Turbo Traction Lab that is going to kick off on February the 10th. Applications close around the 15th of January, and we're going to immediately start evaluating people and inviting that next cohort in. Some of the slots are already filled, which is sad for some people, which just makes the competition a little bit higher. So we'd encourage everybody to just do a quick Google search for Turbo Traction Lab, and you'll find a couple different programs, or you can go to radicaltraction.com, RADICAL traction.com. All one word, no hyphens, no underscores or anything like that. And that's just an opportunity for you to learn a little bit more about the program, opt in, and take that next step to submit your application. How hard was the application?
No, it wasn't too hard. I know for me personally, I'm a little bit lazy, so it took me longer than
We've
it
not
would.
noticed that at all during the Turbo Traction Lab, your laziness.
Oh, you're too
putting
kind.
pressure on you every single day. So
No, it's been great though. But yeah, no, it wasn't too bad. I think there was three or four different pages that you just fill out. It's pretty simple.
Yep.
Yeah.
Simple and a video. Quick little video, nothing
Yeah.
crazy with So yeah, it's a simple application process. We really want to attract and work with people that do have a global business from the start. So if you are one of those people, one of those people, just shoot them off to the Turbo Traction application website. We would love to have you. One of the things that happens is as soon as you apply, I'll give you a quick call, make sure there's no questions, which I think is one of the things that you're referring to. I don't know if I called you as soon as your application came through.
No, it was before my application.
Oh, before your application. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to tell you how we did that, but we did it. So
I think I could almost work it out now.
Oh, now that we teach you
Now that
all
I'm in
these
there.
lead generations, marketing, analytics, and stuff like that. So, all right. So now we know that you want to go global. New Zealand, even though you say nothing's there, they're really amazing people over there, and they have the same need to swap and borrow items for what Gecko can do.
Absolutely.
So, but they'll have to go to some other website, not gecko.com.au. They'll have to go to gecko.com.nz, right?
Yeah. So we're still figuring that out. We've got a few further chats that we need to have in regards to our domain name, because obviously, we want to go global. So having the .au at the moment is definitely a little bit of a hindrance for us, but we're slowly but surely, prioritizing and getting our way there.
Great. So as we're parting and we're ending this discussion, what would you ask of the people that are watching this?
What would I ask them? I would ask them, well, number one, if you are, of a tech background, it would be great to reach out, because we're currently looking for a few, software developers, and seeing how we can, make a fit. Number two would be to Gecko around us.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Get around us. So
Get around us. What does that mean?
So that means, pretty much if you, I think the statistic is 89% of Australians have items in their home that are, just sitting there gathering dust. So if you do have something along those sorts of lines, you think, oh yeah, this would be awesome. I could see someone definitely, wanting to borrow this. Then yeah, absolutely put it on our website. As you said, it was geckoonline.com.au. So yeah, definitely put your items on. And number three is, if you're really keen on entrepreneurship and really making waves when you start your own business, definitely join Turbo Traction Lab. As I said, it is the best thing that I've ever done. He doesn't have a gun under the table or anything like that.
Because there is no table, just maybe behind here. And going to the US comment, for our viewers that are wondering why he's so keen trying to figure out the dates and everything like that we're going to go and take this cohort of 15, 20 people over there, is he's trying to get us to strategically place the date of the visit around a very important date in your life, right? Your 21st birthday, right?
Yeah. So 21st birthday's in April, and then you guys have planned it perfectly in May. So yeah, absolutely loving that.
Now we can't time it that perfectly for everyone, but we'll see what we can do about that.
Brilliant.
So,
Cool.
All right, so again, this particular HubLive is sponsored by the Turbo Traction Lab, and the applications are open right now, so we would encourage anybody that is thinking about growing their business internationally to give a quick application. Maybe takes 20 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that, record a quick little video and shoot it off to us. Just quickly Google Turbo Traction Lab. The Turbo Traction Lab website is in our comments, or you can make sure to pay attention to our Facebook page. So any parting words, anything like that?
Oh no, that's pretty much it.
Cool. All right, so from me and Ben, I've got to get going.
Yeah, that's it.
So we appreciate everybody's time, and be sure to register at geckoonline.com.au. Follow Gecko on the interwebs and at Facebook and the Instagrams, Gecko AUS. Go ahead and do that and give him a quick little like. List that tent, list that flashlight, anything else that you may have. So that's it from us. Tune in next week. Elise will be back for you next week, or it may be me. We've not decided just yet, but tune in next week and we will figure that out together. So go forth, grow your business. Let us know how we can help out, and stop by, send us a message, and let us know if we can do anything else for you. Have a good day.
Cool. Thank you.